Singapore Prime Minister Loong says that the country has to take the threat of terrorism very seriously in light of the Israel-Hamas conflict. At the Bloomberg New Economy Forum, he says lone wolf attacks must not be allowed to happen in this part of the world. He was asked if he was worried about security in the region, as leaders in some countries have voiced their support for the Palestinians.
I think diplomatic positions is one thing, and some countries support Palestine, some countries support Israel. Singapore has diplomatic relations with Israel, and we also have friendly relations with the Palestinian Authority. So diplomatic support is not the difficulty, but terrorism is a danger.
Mr. Lee also said that he doesn't think China has ever thought lightly about going into Taiwan. He was asked if he thinks Russia's experience of the war in Ukraine may have changed the thinking in China about Taiwan.
I'm sure they must make their calculations, but I don't believe that they are trigger happy. They have a problem. They would like Taiwan to be part of one China, but how to get from here to there? And I believe if they are not provoked, if events don't spin out of control, I don't believe that you're going to wake up one day and find that they've decided to launch D-Day.
As Singapore's Foreign Affairs Minister, Dr. Vivian Balakrishnan, says that the Republic views today's global developments and instability with great anxiety, as its economy depends much on what's going on elsewhere, and where geopolitical crises like the Israel-Hamas war are concerned, cool heads must prevail.
From where we sit, we think there's no viable alternative except for a two-state solution. If you have an ascendancy of one-state thinking on both sides, and if you think carefully about it, one state must mean by definition the violent elimination of the other people. And if we assume that that's not possible, then you do need cool-headed people in the middle of the political milieu in both the Palestinians and on the Israeli side to get together and say, look, how are we going to live and let live?
Dr. Balakrishnan was speaking in a panel at the Bloomberg New Economy Forum, where he also weighed in on US-China relations and what's at stake for Singapore. He says that the US is Singapore's largest foreign investor, while China is its largest trading partner, and Singapore cannot afford to choose sides.
We believe in being honest brokers, in being a safe deposit box. We've been good for our word and a rules-based system. And I don't have the luxury of whispering sweet nothings in Beijing on one hand and then going to Washington. So I have to have the exact same message, and it means sometimes I have to say no. And they have to understand that when Singapore says no, it's because of our own enlightened long-term national interests.
China has flagged its readiness to work with the United States at all levels ahead of an anticipated meeting between Presidents Xi Jinping and Joe Biden. Also speaking at the Bloomberg New Economy Forum, Chinese Vice President Han Zheng says that the state is ready to strengthen dialogue with the United States. It's also keen to advance mutually beneficial cooperation, properly manage differences, and jointly address global challenges.
最近一段时间，经双方商定，中美之间开展了一些重要高层的接触，这些互动释放了积极的信号，也提升了国际社会对未来中美关系改善的正面预期。中美关系稳下来、好起来，是两国各界和国际社会的共同期盼。